Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews, coming to you today from my tea break. Dedication without a doubt. So today we're going to carry on ranking the years, and we're up to 2015. Fuck me, 2015. It just seems like last week I started doing this from 1978. Sorry, I'm stirring my tea. I've got to actually have tea at the same time as doing my video. So 2015, pretty good year actually, and it's funny how metal was, you know, it's had a real, for me, you know, not a lot of people because it depends what sort of metal you like, but for me the 80s was obviously the best. Beginning of the 90s weren't bad, then through the 90s and 2000s, whoa, not too good. But when it's like now, it's starting to get really good, some really good bands again, so it's excellent. You know, it's weird how things, you know, take a course again and, you know, comes around again, types of music, don't they? So it's great. I've got seven really good albums, and there's probably my top three are very close to each other, like where they could have, I was umming and ahhing what was going to be number one. So number seven, without further ado, going from 7 to 1, all great albums by the way, number 7 being my least favourite of all these favourites. So number 7 is a band that I caught up late on, only probably the last few months. So they're an old band though, and that's Praying Mantis and their album Legacy. So they was a new wave of British heavy metal band, probably like early 80s. Didn't ever like them, never got into them back then, but they've completely changed their style of music. You know, it's not new wave of British heavy metal. It's really melodic, heavy rock stuff. Honestly, I left this band alone even till recently, not knowing that their last 3 or 4 albums were absolutely brilliant. Last 3 albums I think it was, when they've completely come on. They've come on Frontiers, and they're smashing it out of the park with melodic, catchy stuff. Honestly, and they really mix it up on the album as well. So, you know, it's along the lines. Some of the tracks are really AOR, some are melodic, heavy rock. You know, so they mix it up a bit. The One is a great track. Tokyo's also good. Better Man, slow song. Knock it out of the park, these guys, honestly. If you're leaving them alone because you're thinking it's old Praying Mantis and you didn't like them, forget about it. Excellent band. I'll give it 8 out of 10. Just getting rid of my tea bag. Right, okay. Number 6, Tremonti and Cauterize. So, loved All I Was. I thought it was his best, you know, album, Tremonti, Mark Tremonti. But this wasn't a bad follow-up at all. Not quite, for me, as good as All I Was. And I know this is one of the fans' favourite albums from him. But along the same lines, lots of thrashy stuff, but then does some real melodic stuff that could fit in with, you know, Alter Bridge. You know, really mixes it up again. Even if anything, like a little bit more melodic on this one at times. But great track I like on this is Flying Monkeys. Brilliant track. They actually it's named after them monkeys, them fucking horrible monkeys in the Wizard of Oz film. Don't know if you ever remember them. But it's a real, like, chugging, slow, brooding song. Brilliant from Mark Tremonti, that one. Cauterize, the actual title track, is really good. Sympathies, like where I said about melodic, slowing it down a little bit, along the same lines of Alter Bridge. But the standout track for me on this is Dark Trip. Bit of an underrated sort of, you know, deeper cut. Real brilliant, sort of slower but really heavy track. Excellent song. And I'll give Tremonti Cauterize 8 out of 10. My number 5, bit of southern rock now. Blackberry Smoke, Holding All the Roses. So I thought the Whippoorwill was probably the strongest album. Then they brought out Holding All the Roses, which was also good, but not quite for me along, you know, as strong, although it was a brilliant album. It's my number 5. So continuing in the same vein, you know, catchy, sort of, dare I say it, country, a little bit country at times, but you know, they do really walk that thin line between, you know, like Skinner used to do, between country and rock, you know, and heavy rock. But I really like the album, but you know, they've done better. But Wish in One Hand is a good song. Payback's a Bitch, brilliant song. That's where they hit their heavier side. Fire in the Hole is great also. 8 out of 10 for this. Right, my number 4. I really loved this album when it came out, and I still do. But I think when it died down into the catalogue, you know, it's sort of made its place now, so it's not right up at the top, but it would have been when I first listened to this. That's Iron Maiden, The Book of Souls. Obviously a brilliant album, you know, it's at my number 4. What an album. You know, I think they've been really consistent as well, like since Bruce has been back in the band, without doubt. And this one's got some of them real epic-y, long tracks, you know, full up with them. I love If Eternity Should Fail, and I think it's one of the best opening tracks they've done for a long time with Bruce back in the band. It is a really strong track. The Book of Souls, I love the actual title track. Tears of a Clown is a great track that's apparently it's a tribute to Robin Williams, so that's a cool thing, like after he passed. Empire of the Clouds, let's speak about that one. So 18 minutes long, 18 minutes and 2 seconds. Obviously smashing Rime of the Ancient Mariner out of the park. Not on the same level as Rime of the Ancient Mariner for me, but you know, really good listen. It's unbelievable listen. The way this band paint pictures, you know, what they sing is absolutely superb. Their songwriting is outstanding. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Empire of the Clouds is about airship R101, a British airship that crashed in France in 1930. Quite a sad sort of song, really, but a brilliant song. 8 out of 10 for The Book of Souls. Right, number 3, Stryper, Fallen. This band can't do no wrong for the last 3 or 4 albums. I think it's 3 albums. The 4th one won't do no wrong either, which is coming out. But this could be their strongest one of the last 3, I think. You know, it is such a great, and what Yahweh kicking it off, which is what I did a review of that track a little while ago. Check that out. Love that track. What a heavy, unbelievably heavy track. Fucking brilliant track. You got Fallen on this, the title track. Heaven, Pride is full up with songs that are strong, if not stronger than their 80s material. And I'll give Stryper, Fallen 9 out of 10. My number 2 and my number 1, they're both 10 out of 10s, and I really I was like, oh my god, what am I going to put as number 1? It could switch around, but when I wrote this, it's Eclipse at number 2, Armageddon Eyes. Eclipse are a do no wrong band. Check out my After the End of the World review of that track. Weren't off this album, but this song is full up with songs like that. Catchy, 80s, but with a sort of a modern production twist. Oh my god, these guys smash it out of the park. They are one of the best modern, even though they've been going a few years, one of the best modern heavy melodic metal even at times, because they've got a real heavy sound as well, but so catchy. And probably the most, I don't think there's another band that catches as much energy that this band do on record. They for some reason, they sound so hungry all the time. I love them. I absolutely love them. One of my favourite bands. And I'll give Eclipse, Armageddon Eyes, as I said, 10 out of 10. Right, my number 1. Queensryche, Condition Human. I fucking love this album. This for me is the strongest one since Todd's been in the band. This has got so many tracks on it that, you know, I'm going to keep saying it, that these people that say, oh fucking hell, Todd La Torre ain't the same as Geoff Tate. Where were them fans, the Geoff Tate fans, honestly, where were they through that period of fucking albums after Promised Land? Where were those fans then saying, Geoff Tate, I won't listen to nothing but Geoff Tate? I'll tell you what they were doing, they were fucking moaning. They were moaning about how shit Queensryche were. And to tell you the truth, they fucking were right. But please, those fans who won't give Todd La Torre a chance, give them a fucking chance the way they are, because if you're missing old Queensryche, if you're missing The Warning, if you're missing Rage for Order, if you're missing Empire, if you're missing Operation Mindcrime, This band are doing it. You know, people say, oh yeah, it ain't as good as Operation Mindcrime, it ain't as good as Rage Fraud. You know, it probably ain't. Rage Fraud and Operation Mindcrime are my favourite albums, not just of Queensryche, but of all time. So they've got a lot to fucking live up to. But I'm telling you something now, if this album, Conditioned Human, came out just after, say, I don't know, Empire or Promised Land, fans would have a fucking hard on about it. I ain't joking. It's because Jeff has gone and they don't want to really give it a chance. But please, you know, if you're doing it for the right reasons and you just can't get along with it, with Todd's voice, you know, I can understand, because they're not exactly the same, even though there's a lot of similarities. Or if you think it's too much the same, I can understand. But if you're missing old Queensryche, like I did for years, now's your fucking chance to have them back. Full up with brilliant songs. This has got, let's name some these other tracks first. I want to talk about these other tracks. So we've got I9, would have fitted in with The Warning, easy. Bulletproof, slow song, so epic, brilliant vocal by Ted LaTorra. Conditioned Human closing the album off, twists and turns at every angle, proper progressive metal, love it. But the 3 tracks, you know what, sometimes you get albums that have about 3 or 4 tracks together that are just blow your mind, and they're all together and they're in the middle of the album. It does happen now and again. I remember that happened with Alice in Chains with me with Devil Put Dinosaurs here. There's 3 tracks on there. But on this album, it does exactly that. You've got 3 tracks, and that they are sort of like a mid-tempo pace, but they are outstanding. If I could give them more than 10 out of 10, I would. Hellfire, Toxic Remedy, Selfish Lives. 3 of the best tracks Queensryche have ever written. Ever written. You know, I'm talking about classic Queensryche here. Give it a go. Queensryche, Conditioned Human, 10 out of 10. Easy. Right. I'm going to finish my tea now because I've got to go back to work. Some of us have to work. So, thanks for listening. If you want to subscribe, please press the red button at the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much.